Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Alana and today I am doing a first impressions and review of these makeup sticks that I think they're pretty new from Maybelline. They're called the Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. So it's supposed to be a primer, concealer, highlighter, BB cream, all in one. That's why it's called the 4-in-1. So I was super keen to try these, and in my last haul I bought all three. And then I left them there for quite a while and forgot about them. So once I've pulled them out, I wanted to try. I thought I would give you guys a full-on review, first impressions. I use the darker colors to contour because I saw people doing that on TikTok. So I thought I would give it a try too. We've got a bronzer shade, the contour shade. This is the finished product. All I've got on my skin at the moment is all three of these. So I think it looks quite nice, but I'll go into much more detail and how it goes on, how to use it, and the steps I take in getting this look. And also I did a wear test. So the first time I used it, I popped it on, I had a lunch to go to, went to the lunch and then checked in when I returned, and you'll see the results of how it looked a good 5-6 hours later. So let's get stuck into the review. Brace yourself, you're going to see a bare-faced Alana in less than 10 seconds.
Okay, welcome to my bathroom. So first of all, I just primed the skin with this Bobbi Brown primer. I love this stuff. It's like a face putty. It's all citrusy, moisturising, nourishing, and is divine under makeup. So that was the first step that I took. Let's go in. I was so excited to try these. So I started with the shade Light. That's the applicator. Look, at first they're not easy to get going. It took me quite a while off camera, but I eventually got there in the end and started to apply. So the texture is light. It is a very light, nourishing sort of consistency. It is not thick like a normal foundation. Obviously this isn't a foundation. This is more like I'd sort of call it like a semi-foundation, semi CC cream, BB cream, whatever you want to call them, which is hence why it's called 4-in-1. So I just covered the skin with it and then I started to blend. I used this brush initially. This is the flower brush. It's new. I just wanted to try it. It's okay. It was only $10. But then I just sort of felt like it wasn't enough coverage for me. So I went in with another layer. I just wanted to see if it was buildable and I could work with it, especially because I was going out. I didn't want to leave my skin feeling a bit exposed and transparent. That's just not how I feel comfortable if I'm putting makeup on. So I went in with another layer. Depending on what your preference is with coverage, you might not need to do this step, but I was testing it out. I wanted to give it a good run and see if it was buildable, if I could get coverage and how the finishing look would go. So I applied the second layer and went back in with the brush, just dabbed it. I made sure not to pull too much on the skin because I felt like it sort of spread it out a bit far because it is a very luminous, product. So if you pull too much, it's best to be gentle. So I actually felt like I needed the Beauty Blender. I feel like the Beauty Blenders are number one for me in blending out foundation or, anything on the face. Then I just felt like I needed to set it a little bit. I was scared it was going to move around. I am concerned when I am going out that I might lose some. So I quickly set it with some transparent powder, just the Fit Me by Maybelline. And then I felt like I needed a bit of coverage under the eyes. Now, concealer isn't something that I use often, to be honest. When I'm using a full coverage foundation, I often skip concealer because I just feel like it's not that necessary. But obviously, because this is a lesser coverage, I did go in with the concealer quickly, just set it and just felt a bit better once I had a bit of coverage under my eyes. Okay, I was super excited yet cautious to try this step. Again, I took some time to get it up to the surface through the sponge, but then I went in. So because it was so dark, I really, really went light to begin with. So since this initial first try, I've gone a lot heavier and it still blends out a dream. But this was my first try and I was going out. I wasn't just staying home where I could wash it off. So I did go very, very cautiously. Just a little dab up on the contour line. Probably was a bit high looking from here, but at the time seemed fine. And yeah, just it blended out really well. I was actually quite impressed. But Beauty Blender is the way to go using this product, I've found. And every time I've used it since this video, I have used the Beauty Blender. So that's my go-to. I wouldn't use the brush again. But as you can see, it's just given a really nice contour to the face. So I was quite impressed. Then went in with the bronzer. This I am a lot more heavy-handed with. Even now, I really go nuts up on the forehead, bronzing everywhere. I love a good bronzer at the best of times. So as you can see, it's just a really nice bronze shade and you can chuck it anywhere. It's not going to look ridiculous. And I just did sort of the bare minimum. Well, it doesn't look like the bare minimum, but I did less than what I do now just to try it out. But I could see that it was going to be nice. So I went in and I really, really loved the way the Beauty Blender just blended it out. And I thought it looked quite nice. Yeah, I was pretty impressed, I must say. Gave me a golden tinge. The consistency is lovely. It is a cream. I'm not usually a cream bronzer or contour sort of person. I usually use a powder, but the cream gives you that luminosity that I just really find gorgeous and glowy. So I definitely felt like I could work with it, added a bit more, got a bit more adventurous, and I really, really thought it was easy and enjoyable to use. Finished off with a bit of setting powder just to try and ensure it doesn't move and set it all in place. Finished product. Did my hair, straightened it, finished. Obviously I hadn't done my lips yet, but yep, that's the finished product out for lunch ready, and I was pretty happy with the look. This is after lunch. Now I must say I actually got compliments on my makeup that day, but this was after about 5 or probably even 6 hours and eating, drinking, you know, the whole thing. I could just see it wore off a bit on my chin, but everywhere else seemed to look pretty fine, and that was with no touch-ups whatsoever. So I was pretty happy with the end result after such a big amount of time.
And that is it, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see me try more new items, things that have come out. I'm happy to grab them and try them for you guys. I love trying new products, so I'm always happy to take suggestions. If there's something you've got your eye on and you want to know how it goes, let me know and I'll try it for you. But I do really love this. I really love the glowy nature of it. I went out the other evening and I begun to put it on, didn't think it was enough coverage, so I sort of used it in conjunction with a pump or two of my foundation as well. So that's a good tip because I just love the dewy nature of it. I don't actually have any highlighter on, but it's just a very radiant sort of finish that I just love. So I wanted that in conjunction with a bit more coverage. So I popped on this. Then I popped on a little bit of foundation, you know, mixed in with it just for a bit more coverage. And that held up really well on a night out because I was concerned being a night out. It was a warm night. It was like a 30-degree day. So my concern is that it's not full coverage enough for a night out. But if you use it in conjunction with a normal foundation, that helps too. Because I just do love the dewy sort of finish of it. But anyway, I really love it. Possibly a con for me on mine. This shade actually matches me perfectly. This is what I have on today, like I said, with this in the contour, and I've got a bit around here, and then this sort of everywhere else, and I've got a bit of blush on as well. But this color here, I've only used that about 3 or 4 times. I'm just concerned I'm going to run out of it quite quickly. So it will be interesting to see how I tear through this, because it is sort of like because it is not full coverage, I tend to like really hammer it on. I will be interested to see how quickly I tear through this, because I am using it quite often. I really like the way it looks. So I think with these sort of applicators, look, I'm just not a huge fan even of their concealer that has these applicators. I just feel like product gets wasted. So you do have to like really turn it to get some out, and then while you're turning it, obviously that's going down in the bottle, and you know, it's pushing it up, but I feel like a bit gets lost in the sponge. But you know, that is fixable. You can just rip off the sponge like I have with one of my concealers, so you know, that's not the end of the world. But anyway, that is that. I am really happy that I bought these and tried this, and if anything, even if I don't wear this all the time, I really am enjoying these. And because you don't use much, they're not really, you know, going down, like I'm not smashing through them. So these could be permanent fixtures in my makeup routine, I feel like. Maybe not permanent, but definitely something that I'm going to use quite often, because I feel like they're going to last me a while. And I do love the blendability and, you know, the way it looks. So anyway, that's it from me. So you all have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. See you guys.